welcome to PMC English. This is Ayushi. Wisdom is not the product of schooling, but an attempt to acquire it lifelong. On these quotes, today we have a great master, Vidyasagar ji, with us. So we will be in conversation with him and we will be acquiring a lot of wisdom. So without any further delay, let's welcome him in this episode. Namaste, Guruji.
Hari Om.
So starting with, you have been providing spiritual guidance to numerous people for the past 30 years. So how did your journey begin? Like, how did your spiritual journey begin?
Salutations to great masters. Salutations to Parabrahman. Salutations to Swaguru, Nijaguru, Paramaguru, Parameshthiguru. From my childhood, we have a lineage from our great-grandfather as well as grandfather. So, our family deity is Rajarajeshwar. Our great-grandfather used to teach in Lakshmipuram of Challapalli Mandal, Devi Bhagavatam and Sitaramanjanaya Samvada. So, I got the lineage from the great parents, grandparents. I got taught well from Ramayana, Bharata, Bhagavata in the early childhood. We used to go for radio programs at 5 years of age. We were brought up like that with an intent that you are not this limited entity. You need to understand the spiritual entity and elevate yourself as an enlightened master. So the great masters' grace has helped in a lot of ways in many junctions of the life. By 1990, Sadhguru has come into the life. After that, by 96, Purna Bodha has happened from Nirbhayananda Swami, and it went on. So, we were trained in such a way, rather, we were such blessed with the kind grace that we were both masters and disciples at a time. Generally, it doesn't happen. The disciple will continue and enlighten him first, then he becomes master. But with great effort of grandparents as well as the great masters, we were given that opportunity to do a job as a hand tool in the hands of the great masters. The Guru Mandali, Mahipitam, such that the ignition of real self is to be done at each individual, such that if an individual is enlightened, his family is enlightened. If a family is enlightened, it will reflect on the life of the entire mankind. Such a way, we need to progress as well as we need to realize. That's the way happening till today. Maybe on tomorrow, if the master graces.
Guruji, you are also the follower of Chalaachalabodha tradition. So here I want to understand that what is this tradition all about?
The entire creation is on two phenomena. There are unmoved. There are always moving. This we understand. Even from the books of physics, as well as many thoughts. The tradition goes with limited edition of eternal. The eternal way of life is always understanding and realization, but not the practice. Tradition always goes with practice. So, wisdom is always to be wise. That's all. It includes everything, either the teaching or the practice or the elevation and enlightenment. Then it comes to realization. Rather, you can say, some limited words are there in English to express this. Salvation like that. But The reality is that I am that. And be like that. That's the only way. But if we say the unmoved is moving, it's a wrong notation. If you say the mood is a part of the unmoved, it's also a wrong notation. The unmoved is always unmoved. The moving is always. There's a great phenomena of the universe, which is depicted as Chala, Achala. Those are two phenomena. Chala is always moving. Achala is always unmoved. We see the eternal mother, Jagat Janani, what we call Jagadamba, is always moving. It's a consciousness. You can depict even at the atom to the universe, micro to the macro. But the unmoved is always unmoved. So we need to realize the unmoved as well as the moved. So this teaching, Bodha, is a teaching. It's not preaching. So the teaching should elevate you such that you are enlightened. And the mastery should happen at the enlightenment. You cannot prepare a master. A master has to happen in your life.
Neatly said. But now that we see in this era, everyone is in search of peace. Everyone is in search of a blissful life. So according to you, what is the key for a blissful life or to lead a blissful life?
There is a great notation by the great masters, Bhagavan Satyasai, as well as Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. The primordial principles were taught by Bhagavan Vedavyasa, as well as the Jagat Guru, Sri Krishna Bhagavan. If you see the notation, I want peace. That is a primordial requirement. So please remove I and want. The peace is left. That is the only answer given by the great masters. You are just doing the removing of I want and the I. Then the limited edition is ended. The vast edition is before you, which is always peaceful. You cannot see the sky unpeaceful. You cannot see the sky disturbed because it is always eternal. So to live eternally is the only solution to have peace. That's why our great grandfathers as well as forefathers and grandmasters, anybody, those who are enlightened masters have told only one single notation. Try to understand eternal peace. Eternal peace. But we are trying for a limited edition of peace. So the limited edition is not everlasting. You are always in the quest of everlasting peace. That is eternal peace. If you understand that it is only in the graveyard, it is a mistake. You cannot get that eternal peace in the graveyard. But if you try like that, your quest is never ending. So try to live like that and be like that. That's the only solution.
Maybe we have limited the peace and the real meaning of peace because we are just in this materialistic world where we are just confined to certain sections of the peace. And at that particular moment when we get those things, that is where we think that that is what peace is and that is what happiness is. But it is beyond that.
The understanding is variable.
Right.
Thing is, you are disturbed when you are hungry. You go to a hotel and order as per your like and dislike, as per the menu. You eat it and you quench the hungry. The end result is always, I'm happy. Whether you eat whatever may be the ABCD in the menu, the result is always, I'm happy. You are peaceful when you are happy. But you are happy when you are peaceful. You need to understand the balance between happiness and the peace. What is first and what is the second. So the blessings whenever given by a master. So the first blessing is to live peacefully and then to be happy. But whereas human being is trying I would like to be happy, then I would like to be peaceful. It's the vice versa model. When you understand this, then first you be peaceful. Then you will understand what is happiness. The happiness cannot be felt in a materialistic way. The world cannot make you happy, cannot keep you as peaceful. You need to be happy and peaceful. It is heartfelt, not a material fact. When you are carried away by the material facts, you see all piecemeal instead of a peace. So don't get yourself distracted by the piecemeal. Be wholesome, then you are always peaceful.
When we talk about peace, when we talk about happiness, there is another thing that people are worried about, and that is the death. They want to know what exactly is death and what occurs after death.
If you are able to analyze your birth, then you will know about death. But once you are born, you don't know about it. Even if you give birth to a child, you cannot understand it. Is the birth from the outside or from the inside? Is the question. Birth is an instinct as well as death is an instinct, which starts from your inside and is the outcome of an instinct. So, the grand masters, the eternal masters always say, there is no birth and death. That is the eternal reality. But we cannot feel it. We can understand it. Because the life is driven by feelings. Once you are above of it, then you can understand it. I tell you an example. If you are asked about your mother, what you can say as your mother? You cannot say the food given by the mother. You cannot say the services offered, rendered by your mother. You can say the sacrifice of the mother as a mother. That's the only thing. But the sacrifice of a mother, can it be a feeling? No. It is an understanding. Unless you are up to that mark, you don't know what is a mother. In the same way, we are unable to understand this physical level where we can visualize our own mother. Then how you can understand the eternal mother, which is the main fulcrum of the entire universe. If you would like to get elevated up to that level, enlightenment up to that eternal level of great mother, the primordial phenomena. It's a phenomena. You need to understand it by its own virtues, not by the feeling. When you are limited by your own feelings, then you get distracted and carried away. And the disturbance is your day-to-day rule of your life. Don't get ruled by disturbance. You need to have an enlightenment at the level of divinity. So be a divine being. The great saying of the Vivekananda is, you are the spiritual being in the physical body. You are the spiritual entity in this physical world. You need to understand this both. You are the spiritual being in the physical body, as well as you are the spiritual entity in the physical world. So don't get limited by your physical body and the physical world. You are the spiritual being and your real existence is spiritual entity. And be a spiritual dynamo is the primordial rule of the life. Once you are raised up to that level of the spiritual dynamo, you never see any curbing nature in the entire universe. You are the beyond.
Thank you for that wisdom, Guruji. But now that we're talking about the existence, we also talk about the universe. So according to you, what is universe and what does consciousness mean? And how does consciousness and the reality that we live in correlate to each other?
The fetus in the mother's womb has the consciousness. You have started your journey from the consciousness. And the zygote multiplies with the ability of consciousness. Your journey has started from the point of consciousness. The point of consciousness is in every atom. It's a macrocosmos. Even it is existing in a micro. The everlasting existence itself is consciousness. Whether you observe in a small entity or whether you observe in a universe, that doesn't matter. So the elements, the periodic table cannot decide the consciousness. The periodic table is an external exhibition of the consciousness. Don't get carried away by the exhibition. You are the real existence and you are the reality. So once you understand this, then you are both the micro as well as the macro, and you are the beyond. The wisdom always says you are the beyond. You are neither limited by the micro nor limited by the macro. That is called the consciousness is always there at the micro level as well as the macro level and the beyond. You can name it with different words, but the words cannot depict its actual reality. You need to realize it. You are a micro in your mother's womb. You are the macro till your entire life. Are you not there? And the question is, are you not there? The answer is, I am there. Then who are you? Who are you in the mother's womb? There is no name. There is no form. Are you there or not? Yes, I am. Then who are you? Are you there or not in the entire macrocosmos? Yes. Who are you? You need to answer, I am that. So, the eternal answer is always, I am that. Tatvamasi. This is the great notation of Mahavakya of Chandogya Upanishad, of our Rishis in Samaveda. So, which we need to understand in a macrocosmos model, not at the micro. It can be applied at the micro level also. But the reality is, you are the beyond. For that, you need to follow the rule of I am that. And always say your wish. Whereas human being is driven away, my wish. That is why you are disturbed. Say always your wish. Because that is the teaching of your mother. When she gives any food for the baby, your wish. The baby is happy. A great primordial principle taught by your mother. But once the baby grows up, my wish. So you are disturbed. Just learn from it and understand. Once you say in the external world, just your wish. You are happy and everyone is happy.
Now that we discuss about the relationship between the individual and the absolute, you also mentioned about Tatvamasi, which is frequently used in the 6th chapter of the Upanishads. So if you can just elaborate that for us to understand it better.
If you understand yourself as a small entity, then it is called Tvam. If you understand yourself as an all-pervasive, all-pervading entity, there are two entities in your feeling. There is universe, I am there. This I am there is in both ways. You are telling that there is universe. At the same time, I am there. Not after the some minutes. On the same moment, you are feeling your existence as well as the cosmos which is boundless, which is limitless, ever expanding. But those three virtues are not there in your existence. Whereas, if you understand from the point of a zygote, is it not ever expanding? It is. Is it not everlasting? It is. So the same primordial three principles which are observed in the cosmos are existing here also. So the existence is always existing, not by the experience and the expression. Expression may change. Experience may change. The absolute existence will never change. So try to understand the absolute and omniscient way of macrocosmos. I would like to see the air. Is it possible?
Not possible.
Not possible. But you can feel the air. I would like to feel the sky. Is it possible?
Sure.
No. You can understand. So there are 5 elements in this nature. Every element has got its own primordial virtues. The sky can be understood. Air can be felt. So like that all other 3 elements also. So as it is grossified, the virtues are more. So as it is more subtler, less virtue. So are we living more grossified or absolute? Once it is beyond the sky, once it is boundless, it is absolute and net. So there are no virtues. We need to understand that level. Then only it's possible. But our understanding is now just grossified. Unless it is just like a bread piece in your hand, you cannot understand. If you say, then Paramatma is that bread. Parabrahman is that bread. That's why our Upanishad teach, Annam Brahmeti Vejana. Annam is nothing but Brahman. What you eat is Brahman. What you are is Brahman. What you see is Brahman. What you feel is Brahman. What you perceive is Brahman. What you realize is also Brahman. There's nothing else. Brahma Satyam. That's all. And the disciples' notation is Jagan Mithya, not the Guru's. Guru always notates Brahma Satyam. Because Annam Parabrahma Swarupa. You will see this notation at all ashrams. That doesn't mean that don't waste food. It's not the notation. You should see, realize, and be like that. Annam Parabrahma Swarupa. Then the bread piece in your hand, nothing but Parabrahman. If you grossify it, that's your job, but not its job. The Parabrahman cannot be grossified. That's called Tatvamasi. The third word Asi. It's Parabrahman. Tat is Brahman and Tvam is yourself. You are visualizing it at the gross level, subtle level, causal level, and the beyond. There is another level beyond, which is beyond cosmos, and it is unmoved. That's the reality.
Like according to the Vedanta, Brahman is the almighty, all-pervading and the supreme in the universe. So what is the essence and what is the significance of Brahman in Vedantas?
The sun is giving you light. Is it right or not? How? If you ask, then can a first-class boy can explain? No. If you ask a graduate, can he explain? No. Because I have not read. Because our mind is limited by what you read and what you listen. And what you see, rather. If not, what you understand. But can you explain how the sun is giving you that much radiation? Is it radiation or light? It's radiation. How a radiation expels? Nothing but a nuclear fission and a fusion. This now everybody knows. Then how it happens, if I ask? You may explain theoretically. Beyond that, can you say?
In the scientific way.
It's a scientific way. If I say, is it not happening in your body? Definitely. Definitely in your digestive system. You are eating food which is converted into energy by only nuclear fission and fusion. It's happening in you as well as at the sun. Is the phenomena is different? No. It happens even in the nuclear plant. You will get the nuclear energy, which we are using as electricity. Is the phenomena is different? No. Is the power is different? No. Is the knowledge different? No. But you are perceiving in a different. It's a perceptual error that I am different. You are indifferent is your primordial existence. So you should try to understand the basic level of primordial nature. That's Brahman. It's not different. It is indifferent. That's called Abheda Tattva. What is there, that is here. What is here, that is there. It's not different. So, I am that. Can you say, are you different from your mother?
Not really.
You cannot, because you are from her. What you will be? You will be the same. When you are from there and you are the same, how you can be the different? Not possible. But you feel, I am feeling I am different. That is your perception. When you become a great grandmother, you will understand. Oh, it is in me. Because you have seen 4 generations. You are the girl child, you are the mother, you are the grandmother, and you are the great grandmother. Has any new person has come? No. Are you there or not? Yes, I am there. Who are you? I am that. I am the knowledge, I am the wisdom, I am the experience. I am such and such and such. You can enlist whatever is there in your visualization. But you are the beyond, not the visualization, not the perception, not the book, not the thing that you understand. You are always beyond. You are the spectator.
So, is it in that way that we create our own reality?
The creation is always a mirror image for the reality. It's a mirror image principle. When you stand before a mirror, your right is left, left is right. Is it the mirror showing you, or are you seeing it?
We are seeing it.
But you are telling that the mirror is showing me. It's wrong. It's visible till mirror is there. If mirror is not there, no mirror image, as well as no illusion at the same time. Is it in a different time? The mirror is removed. The illusion is also removed. The image is also removed. It's instant. So, your real existence is always there. Now you are living in a big mirrored glass chamber. That's called, which is having 25 mirrors. Then how many images? 25 images. Are you 25? No. I am the one. Then how you can remove your 25 images? Don't bother about the image. Remove the mirror. All images are removed. Then there are another 25 more mirrors in the macro. So what about that? That's a divine being. That's a divine nature. Is a physical nature, physical being. Divine being, divine nature. There is another 25 mirrors there, just like this, on the same phenomena. There's a micro phenomena, there's a macro phenomena. The phenomena will not change. The principle of consciousness never changes. Because that only identifies you. That only depicts you from the out of illusion. Because you can observe yourself. You can understand yourself. You can make yourself realized. Not the image, not the mirror. Why you are get carried away by the image and the mirror? Now every human being is carried away by his own image. I am damn worried about my image. My image is getting damaged. How it is possible? Is it possible? Where is your image? It's not there when there is no mirror at all. So try to realize this absolute level and be happy and be blissful. At the physical world, you are be happy. At the divine nature, you are blissful. What is your goal? Do you want to be blissful or do you want to be happy? Is the primary way of life. If you would like to be blissful, be a divine being in the divine nature. If you want to be happy, then be a spiritual being in this physical body. So both are required. Is it right or not?
You mean to say that both have the equal importance?
It is balance. You don't need to balance it. It is always balanced and natural. You are disturbing it with your own image.